Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you wherever you are, because it is
Morning Somewhere!
for November 13th, 2024. My name is Bertie Burns, sitting right over there. She's already ready for Black Friday. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
Look, you can never go black too early.
That's going to get clipped. That's going to get clipped for sure. Right. Gotta mark that for a future drop. How you doing, Ash?
Yeah, not bad. Look, I'm just getting ready for the big sales.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So there's another weird thing, too. So, hi, everybody. It's Wednesday. Thanksgiving takes place on some Thursday in November. I have been alive my entire life. You have as well, Ashley.
Allegedly.
What?
Allegedly.
I was going to say you've been an American most of your life, but have you? Because you spent 5 years in Australia.
Yes.
And you've lived here for 5 years. You spent 10 years outside of the U.S.
Right. So if I was 20, I might have a shot at
Wait, you didn't have any
spent...
choice for the first 20.
Like, how are we counting it here?
Whatever. You're un-American. Shut up. You commie math over there, whatever you're doing. But yeah, in America, we have the holiday of Thanksgiving, where we give thanks, or we just eat a bunch.
It's an
American
eating holiday.
But I can never know. I never know off the top of my head what's the rule, Ashley? When does Thanksgiving fall in November?
Third Thursday in a month?
You are incorrect. It is the fourth Thursday in November.
I was close. I knew it was Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. You knew it was Thursday. You knew it was November sometime. But it's one of those things. I just wait for someone to tell me when Thanksgiving is.
Right, because someone will. Someone absolutely will.
Or in this case, they talk about the Black Friday deals.
That's not going to help you, though, because if the Black Friday deals are already happening, Bernie.
Black Friday is like the American equivalent of Boxing Day here, which I don't even know what the hell Boxing Day is either. But it's a day where they tell you you're all going to go shopping and act like lunatics.
Have you ever been at one of those 6 a.m. Black Friday sales?
Absolutely not. I can never not do the math on it, because if I'm going to save like $75 or whatever on a TV, waiting outside of a store for 5 hours, I can quickly do the math on that and say, this is just not worth it and not worth my time.
Right, like
and
if you're paying yourself an hourly wage, It doesn't work out.
Exactly. And I do that thing all the time. It works both ways for me, because I had friends who, when The Phantom Menace came out in 1999, they camped out for like 4 days at the movie theater to be first in line to go to The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I've ever done anything at that level. I have been to a Black Friday, like 6 a.m. sale, one of those where the employees open the doors. It was before I moved away from Utah. I think I went with my mom or something, or one of those. It was like we went down to the Walmart at 6 a.m. And it was, oddly enough, it was kind of a fun time. Because it's like a concert or a live event where everyone sort of like shares an energy, and that can go bad really fast. And we've all seen mob mentality at work, right? But when it's sort of positive, good vibes, living and laughing and loving, then it's actually really fun, because everyone's like, look, we're just here. This is exciting. We don't do this all the time, but I need a good deal on TV.
To me, and I've talked to you about this before, the mentality I've seen people want to get the deal. They love the deal. And I have seen people spend all day to save $5 and to say, like, I went to this one store and they were going to charge me $25 for this, but I drove 300 miles away to another store and they had it for $20. Can you not do the math on that? It's just insane to me. But it works the other way for me too, because during COVID, we could fly business class and it was basically the same price as economy, as coach. Dude, that completely spoiled me. But I cannot pay to fly business class international, because it's like $2,000.
That's a lot of money.
Sometimes it's like $4,000
for a couple of hours
more.
Sorry.
Yeah, like if you just just blindly shoot and book a ticket, you could pay like $4,000 for a ticket to fly from London to Austin in business class. And to me, it's like if someone came to me and said, "Hey, tell you what, make you a deal. You sit in this kind of uncomfortable chair for about,
let's say 10 hours.
8 hours, 9 hours, yeah. and we'll give you a free computer. I'll be like, sign me up. I will sit there.
I will also sign you up if I can get a free computer out of it. You okay sitting a little extra long?
But I mean, America here is like, here they are talking about Black Friday deals 2 weeks in advance.
So it's Black November now.
I thought we're trying to fight inflation. It's like, yes, we are trying to reduce inflation. Meanwhile, please buy everything all the time.
All the things.
We got Prime Day. We got
this is going to be really useful for us though, because we're about to get a big cold snap here. So assuming we can get in on some of the Black Friday deals, I don't know if Black Friday is a big thing here. So people
You're
internationally,
not kidding, by the way. It's
outside,
dire warnings coming down the pipe towards us.
It is. People outside the U.S., please weigh in. Is Black Friday a thing everywhere, or do we only see things about Black Friday sales because we're American and we still see American things? I'd be kind of curious about that. But if we can get in on some of these sales, we can do a little bit of extra winterizing because we've got this very heavy storm warning coming up next week. And it's dire for us because we get snow where we are in Scotland. There are some areas much, much further north where they get snowed in, like multiple feet of snow. The really dramatic, like you get the like ice tunnels on sides of the road, that kind of thing. We don't typically get that.
No,
here.
we don't.
Last year, I think we had enough snow for the kids to go sledding like one day. And even that was being kind of optimistic. So we might get 2 feet of snow next week here. And that for us, that's a lot.
We get like a little nice, pretty dusting, and it doesn't stick around long enough to get gross like it did in Utah. Or to borrow a phrase from your other dirty, un-American homeland, Australia.
Yeah, okay.
The snow, it like comes, it goes on the ground, it's like 2 or 3 inches, and then it fucks off. Which I kind of like. I kind of like that it goes away. It doesn't stick around. But they're saying this could be up to 26 inches of snow.
All right, so we're going to need to do a little bit of extra winterizing, which here looks a lot different for us than in the U.S., where it consisted of something like turn up the central heating and maybe wrap a towel around your outside hose.
It's a checklist with one item. Yeah.
And here, well, we're on radiators, so it's go around and make sure that every room has a radiator on. Close the shutters. We have some of the windows in our house have like actual wood shutters that you can slide close and put a bar over. It feels like you're locking down for a zombie attack.
It does. It feels like that scene in I Am Legend, like at night when he's like, we spray ammonia on the front doorstep and everything like that.
And then pull the curtains closed and huddle around a fire. So there is a lot to do here to make sure that we're ready for winter.
I got some firewood coming in, Ashley. I'm thinking of all the different ways I can possibly keep you warm next week.
It's going to involve a lot of blankets. It's going to involve America's Sexiest Man, if you can get him here, possibly. He's been named, by the way.
We have a new America's Sexiest Man?
We do, just in time for Black Friday.
America's Sexiest Man. I'm going Tom Cruise.
No, you would be wrong.
The guy's a treasure. New trailer came out for Mission Impossible.
I was going to say, you're just coming off the Mission Impossible trailer high, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be great. This is like
he ran a lot. That's the formula for success.
I think they're leaning into that now.
I
That he
think so,
runs
too.
a lot. I'm looking forward to it, though. It's the 5th last movie in the Mission Impossible franchise. How many times has it been the last movie for that one?
I don't know. I feel like they just keep extending it. But this time they're like, no, for serious.
For real.
No, this year's Sexiest Man Alive, according to People magazine, is John Krasinski.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Jack Ryan himself.
Yeah, good choice. He buffed up nicely for that.
Director of If.
Previously director of Quiet Place, and he created that whole franchise. Like, he created that world, right?
Yeah, I believe he did. And then he was in and directed the first one, and then just sort of didn't.
Kind of handed the whole thing off. Like, I got this thing going, I'll hand the ball off to other people, and then he went off and directed If. I don't think If did that great.
It did. I think it did middling. It wasn't touted as a huge success, but we also didn't get the kinds of headlines that we get about the big bombs this year.
I would vote for John Krasinski to be Sexiest Man Alive because he has one of the sexiest qualities a man can possibly have. He's married to Emily Blunt.
Look, that's
he gets my vote for that.
Can you have a more attractive feature than Emily Blunt on an arm?
You know what I just saw on social media? I just saw that John Krasinski and Stanley Tucci are brother-in-laws.
What?
Brothers-in-law?
You know, I
brother-in-laws.
kind of love that.
They're brothers-in-law. I'm going with that. Final answer. Yeah, so apparently Stanley Tucci married Emily Blunt's sister.
Okay,
So
I'm
now
putting
there's
together.
like family gatherings where it's John Krasinski and Stanley Tucci just kind of hanging out together. That seems awesome.
I love everything about this, and I'm going to put together an additional headcanon that the Stanley Tucci met Emily Blunt's wife on the set of The Devil Wears Prada, and it was love at first sight. Done. Okay, headcanon, bam. But we were talking about John Krasinski and
I just want to say too, I watched Quiet Place on a plane just recently because I kept trying to get you to watch the day one Quiet Place.
Yes.
When they attack. And so I finally saw it on a plane on my trip to vote and watch Texas lose to Georgia.
It was a busy trip.
It was okay. It was okay. I kind of, in a weird way, wish that Krasinski had stuck with the series.
But but he was off doing other things, and sometimes directors want to move on and do other stuff. Although interestingly, I saw an article the other day where Ridley Scott he said he was regretful that he didn't retain control of some of his big franchises. I believe it was Aliens and Blade Runner was the other one where he didn't like retain sort of control over those IPs, and so he did these first ones and then they went on to be big successes, but he doesn't control the IP in the way that say James Cameron does with like Avatar, right? Where like that's his thing and no one else can ever have it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you talk about the Alien franchise and Aliens. It's like poor Ridley Scott had to turn it over to such losers like James Cameron. Has that guy ever made a bad movie, James Cameron? That's a fun game. Name a bad James Cameron movie. Yeah, it's tough, right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna pull up his IMDb.
Ridley Scott, by the way, is probably in the news because he's promoting Gladiator 2.
The reviews for that are so far say the consensus I've seen so far is something along the lines of, well, it's not the original, but it's still really good.
Ooh, look at this. I didn't know this. Did this happen on our watch? I was just about to we were talking about James Cameron in home video, and I was going to talk about how The Abyss, his underwater movie from the 80s, how it didn't have a Blu-ray release all these years later, decades later. But it does. It came out in March. There's an Abyss Blu-ray and a True Lies Blu-ray.
They finally got True Lies on Blu-ray? I feel like that was another one that was like one of those lost unicorns.
Apparently, he was the guy who had to oversee the cut and the transcode and everything, and he was very particular, and it also was not top on his priority list.
I see. All right. I'm looking at James Cameron's IMDb right now. And at the top of an IMDb page, it says like, this is what this person is known for. How do you narrow that down?
Yeah, how do you do that for James Cameron?
But I think I found our guy, Bernie.
I've got his Wikipedia list up here of James Cameron's filmography. He did Rambo? No, he wrote Rambo. Wow. Okay, do you want to start from the beginning? You want to do it, or shall I do it?
I'm going to go purely on his directing credits.
Okay.
Purely on directing. I think our guy here is Piranha II: The Spawning. If we're looking for like the less than stellar James Cameron entry, I'm going to go with Piranha II: The Spawning. It's got a 3.8 on IMDb. It came out in 1982. So it's been like 42 years since this guy's had a flub.
He wrote Rambo, though. I didn't know that. He wrote it with Sylvester Stallone.
You look like you're getting giddy.
That was a huge hit.
It's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over.
So, yeah, Piranha 2, after he had some stuff that nobody's ever heard of. He worked on Escape from New York. Didn't know that in some capacity, but it wasn't director, writer, producer, or editor. First movie was Xenogenesis. Never heard of it. Then Piranha 2.
It appears it was a short film, 1978. Has a 5.4 on IMDb.
A little movie lost of time called The Terminator. Rambo.
Never heard of it.
Aliens. The Abyss. Terminator 2. Point Break? What did he do on Point Break? Oh, he has uncredited rewrites on Point Break. True Lies. He wrote Strange Days. Then he did Titanic.
I'll bet he was the guy that was like, what if he just like fires his gun into the air a bunch of times?
Titanic.
Because he's so sad.
And then, oh man, he had a huge break. There was like a 10-year gap between Titanic and Avatar.
Look, also don't
and then
sell...
it's all Avatar all the way down.
How dare you? Don't sell this guy short. He was busy directing Dark Angel, the TV series starring Jessica Alba.
Where's that? I didn't see that. Oh, that's further down. He directed that?
He did one episode.
Listen, that's my list. I'll never talk bad about Piranha. That was filmed in Texas. And a girl I went to high school with, she played Susie Grogan in the original Piranha. And that was a huge deal. Like she was, as a child actor, She was in the movie Piranha. Shannon, and man, it was a big deal, I would never talk shit about Piranha.
I went to school with a girl who she was one of the finalists up for the role of the kid in The Horse Whisperer that I believe ultimately went to Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
And I think about that sometimes. I think about like, what if she'd got that role? What would the world look like now? Like, would Scarlett Johansson have had another first shot, or would we not have Scarlett Johansson?
You never know. Yeah.
Would Colin Jost not be as happy because they wouldn't have met? What would the world look like
at the same
if
time,
my school friend had got that role?
What do you think of as being Scarlett Johansson's big breakout role as like the star she is now? It's a tough one, right?
That is a tough one.
I would say Lost in Translation with Bill Murray. But she's not like somebody who's got like a long, she's like Brad Pitt. When you find out that Brad Pitt's biggest grossing movie of all time is Deadpool 2 or World War Z, it's kind of shocking that that's his biggest movie. But then you think about it, it's like, yeah, he's not really like he's a huge star. Scarlett Johansson's a huge star, but I can't think of like, she didn't write Rambo, First Blood Part 2. She doesn't have that.
I think you're right that it's definitely lost.
It's over, Johnny.
That it's definitely Lost in Translation was like the breakout.
Yeah.
But I also think that Horse Whisperer led to Lost in Translation, if that makes sense.
Oh, no, absolutely. And it was one of those, not quite, but kind of in that realm of the young female child star doing kind of a more risque part in order to separate herself from her childhood career.
The transition to adulthood role.
Right. It wasn't Showgirls, and it wasn't like Wrecking Ball for Miley Cyrus, but I feel like it leaned in that direction. And then she did a lot more art house stuff, and then
she still does. She's got like a nice range. She does her blockbusters, and then she does her art house stuff, and it's great.
Why don't we look on IMDb and see
what Scarlett Johansson's known for?
What is she known for?
All right, coming right up. Scarlett Johansson, IMDb.
Good luck spelling Johansson, by the way.
Yeah, no, I accidentally just picked up Scarlett Rose Stallone.
Mine auto-completed for some reason. I'm not really sure why. My search engine is outing me. She is known for The Avengers, Black Widow, the movie Her, where she was a voiceover, and Lost in Translation.
Look, those are all really good options.
That's what she's listed as being known for, right?
Yeah, but you're also missing that she was a voice in Storybot's Answer Time, Bernie.
You're correct. She was in the Transformers 1 movie that I really, really loved. That movie was great.
Yeah, no, that was you've been telling me that I should watch that one, even as a non-Transformers fan, because what they did with the sort of prequel story and the Transformers world building and everything was really good. That the performances in it were really great. So I will check it out. I'm not sure when, but I definitely will.
There's a little bit of retconning, and there's some retconning going on in the Alien franchise as well. While you were sitting there talking about Ridley Scott, I read another article about the new Alien production, and you'll have to excuse me. I don't actually know if it's a movie or if it's a digital series.
I think it's a digital series.
But I know that the runner of that, either the director or showrunner of the show, said explicitly that they were disregarding Prometheus and Covenant, which is the prequel.
Disregarding, what does that mean?
That's what everyone was trying to
Does that
debate.
mean they're decanonizing it?
Someone said, does disregarding mean they're not going to address the things that were established in Prometheus and Covenant? Does that mean they're going to try to rewrite it and retcon it? Like, what does that mean?
I feel like disregarding is a very carefully chosen word to tell us nothing.
I feel like the people who really like Covenant and Prometheus are kind of a splinter group of the Alien fan base. And
it's okay as well, because I think we have something that both the general Aliens fan population and the Prometheus era fans can agree on, and that is the Bernie today is Hot Frosty Day.
Oh God,
that's what I'm going to be watching.
Are you going to watch it?
Oh, I'm absolutely going to watch it. I have to winterize the house somehow. How better than by studying the world's coldest himbo?
Yeah, we're running a little long here.
Oppenheimer.
So
okay.
Before we go, I know you had a dilemma that you want to talk about. I want to remind you about that.
I'll make this very, very quick.
No, she won't.
I'll try. I have a little bit of a dilemma. So I've been catching up on Stormlight Archive in preparation for the release of Wind and Truth early in December. I have now finished Oathbringer, which is the third of the 4 books that I need to read. The fourth book, Rhythm of War, is going to be, if I listen to it, it's like a 60-hour listen. However, my dilemma comes because the newest entry in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series has just released as an ebook. It's not on an audiobook yet, but it has released as an ebook. So
I chimed in there because it's something I can relate to. Like, okay, I'm with you.
So I'm now between books and I have a choice to make. Do I take a break from Stormlight to read Dungeon Crawler Carl and then risk not having finished Rhythm of War before Wind and Truth comes out? Or do I power through Rhythm of War and then just risk the Dungeon Crawler Carl spoils?
All right, you can weigh in the comments to tell Ashley what
do
the hell
I do?
she should read
I've
next.
been staring at these for a day, losing time. I'm losing time.
You're just going to have to pull the trigger and do it. Let me ask you this. Which one is more likely to be spoiled for you?
Well, Dungeon Crawler Carl, because it's out.
That's your answer.
Okay, all right, great. All right, this decision has been made. Thank you. And
the other one's not out? If the other one's not out,
I'm doing a catch up until the next one comes out. But these books are so long, Bernie. They're so long that it might take me the next 3 weeks to get through this last book.
So this other book has already come out?
Wind and Truth? No, it's out in December. But I'm rereading the first 4 books in the series because it's such an epic with so many sprawling storylines that it's like Game of Thrones where theoretically a new one would come out and I'd have to reread because I don't remember what happened.
I get it.
I don't remember where the characters are. I remember some broad strokes, but they'll reference something and I'll go, what?
That's crazy to me. Going to reread 4 books in order to read 1 book?
Do it on the regular.
All right.
That's like my comfort. That's my Martian, okay? That's my Martian.
I get you.
All right. Well, before we go, I would like to say a big thank you to Trey Solis and Smokey for sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morning somewhere. In my opinion, you're both the sexiest.
Yeah, everyone, if you're not on the list, be sure to check out our Black Friday deals, which have been running for 8 months on our Patreon, please. All right, well, that does it for us today. Black Friday, November 13th, 2024. We will be back to talk to you tomorrow. We hope you'll be here as well.
Bye, everybody.